Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Why don't we just get into like what we like to do here? You know what I'm saying?
Get into it. Yeah.
Because it's that time to talk about Bachelor on our show. Yes, but before we get talking about the Bachelor YouTube, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelor content, just like this. And if you just did, oh man, what? Huge shout out to you. Air horns for you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you know, I have to shout out to our comment crew. That's what we do right about now. Nancy Drew crew. We had Catherine Ann checking in with us on the last video. Marion SP, of course. That's a diehard for us. We have Marty, Beth Wanger, and you know, the compadre herself, C Money, was in the building. So
the OG.
Yeah, the OG. So shout out to you guys for leaving comments. You can also get a shout out in the next episode we do by leaving a comment below. Let us know what you think of this episode of the pod. Let us know what you think of this week's episode of The Bachelor, or just any thoughts you might have. Just want to say hi. We'll shout you out too, because we love to see you.
For sure.
But with all that being said, Veronica, where do we start this week? You know, we did miss last week of recording the pod for week 2. So this is kind of like, you know, what do we need to know about week 2 to get us into like week 3 and where we're at currently in the show?
Yeah, for week 2, you know, it was the first week of dates. Definitely came out strong with two group dates and a one-on-one date, and he took Daisy on that one-on-one date, and Daisy was, you know, Daisy is definitely making herself out to be one to watch for this season, which we even predicted last time we talked, last podcast. And she talked about her cochlear implant, really kind of got into that more with him, and he definitely was more impressed, more into her. She was more attracted to him because of how he handled it. And she also got the first helicopter ride of the season. So, you know, things to watch. We had the 2 group dates were fun ones. They did like the wedding group date, but this one, it was actually like they were at a reception, which I wonder, like, how do you become one of the people that sits in at this like fake reception for the show? Because it's like, I don't know how you do the casting call for that, but fun, all the less. And that one kind of made Lauren, who's the older sister of the sister duo, stand out in a bad way, because she was a Debbie Downer the whole time, because she was thinking about how her dad had recently died, because, you know, she's like, now I won't have him for my wedding, whatever. Sad stuff. For sure, but she didn't do herself any favors in the sense of going out of her way, and then she kind of had a whole big blow up at the end of the night with the cocktail party and everything else too. So she is not on the show anymore after that.
So she went home?
I'm pretty sure she went home. I didn't see her in week 3, so...
Yeah, I didn't see her in week 3. I also didn't see the rose ceremony for the second one, but I was under the impression that she did stay. I don't know if something just like happened or something and they're not talking about it, but I don't know. That's what happens when we kind of like are scheming through like a week and getting back to on it. But obviously the big thing is Daisy. You know, she's got the first date. We've been predicting that she's going to be one of the last girls, you know, there. So.
Right.
And you know, so that leads us into like week 3. You know, where do we begin?
So once again, another week where we get 2 group dates and a one-on-one. And the first group date is a pageant that is hosted by the Askin. You telling you we asking, or whatever their little line is. The women from
they're saying
the
you're
Golden
asking and
Bachelor.
we're telling, or something like that.
Yeah. Yes. That's
you know,
that.
I don't know if I like this Nickname, Askin. It sounds like Askin. You know what I'm saying? The skin on your ass.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like, it sounds weird.
Oh, but one of those old ladies is actually kind of hot. Like, it's crazy. Is it? Isn't she like? She is. I was like, damn. Okay. I think she's the one that actually is not getting along with like the other ones for some reason or something. But,
LOL.
Yeah. Anyways, I digress. So we have the talent show, and this was just like, you know, it was very interesting. What do we got for for this talent show?
The talent show was varied. So the pageant, like, you know, it had different other portions, but for the talent portion, some people are going silly with their talent. Some people are like Edwina, who kind of made an impression in the second week during the boot camp date and like got extra time with him, also makes a decent impression during this and like tries to sing and kind of like has like a sweet little song that she sings for Joey. We see like Maria dancing. Sydney does this weird cheerleading routine that like she really was thinking was great, and it was not good.
Well, it's interesting to see like the beginning of a villain origin story, like, you know, because they were really kind of like making Maria out to be like the villain, but like Maria is like a fan favorite, you know? Yeah, she's a fan favorite.
I love Maria.
Me too. I love Maria too. I love her energy on the show. Obviously, I don't think she's gonna make it super far, but like I do think like, you know, the time that we do have with her is gonna be good times. So
and she'll be great on Paradise. I could see her on Paradise thriving.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she would be good on Paradise, but I don't know if she'd be thriving. But anyway,
true.
But to go back to Sydney, this girl was really rough to watch this episode.
So annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying.
I mean, she thought she was like killing it with her pageantry or whatever like that because she's been in a pageant. But no, she did some like lame bring it on stuff. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't feeling it. And so, you know, then we have Lexi, who comes out here and says she's the world's best kisser.
Hilarious.
This is crazy. Like she's like that's how you do it. That's how you do this. And to be honest, I just thought about it. It's actually taking a page out of our lead Joey's book, right?
Yep.
What did Joey do when he was on The Bachelorette with Charity? Do you remember that?
The longest kiss.
The longest kiss. But no, but even before was it after the longest kiss? Didn't he do something where one of the challenges he got up there and he what did he say? I forgot what it was, but he like was like, remember we were talking about how he was like, Joey, that's how you do it. Like he said an answer to like a question or something like that.
Yes. Oh yeah. It was the question. I think it was the question portion leading up to then the longest, who got to do the longest kiss. Yes. And he was answering the questions the right way.
Yeah. I forgot what it was specifically, but he did something that was just like that's the way you do it.
Yeah, we both were like,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Lexi did the same type of thing with this episode, and she was a great kisser. It looked like that was a great kiss. I wouldn't have minded.
They got into it.
Yeah,
they got into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, you know, that's a great kiss. So anyways, she obviously wins. That is not like, it really kind of pisses off a lot of people, like Maria specifically, feeling like I would have done less if I knew all I had to do was kiss you. But you should have thought about it then, you know what I'm saying? But where are we at with the whole, like, you know, pageant? So obviously I just said Lexi wins, but what happens next?
Yeah. So then we're at the cocktail party, and people are getting into it with Joey, and like as you were just saying, Maria, you know, brings up to Joey how she's all like, you know, I feel kind of silly, like I did a whole dance, like, and then you're validating Lexi for kissing you, like if that's the vibe you're going for, like cool, but like just let me, like we're just trying to figure it out. And I actually kind of think she approached that in her very authentic, and I kind of appreciated how she was all like, yo, like, what are you looking for out of this? Like, if that's what, and he's like, no, it was not about just that. Like, it was just about, you know, a combination of factors. And also, like, let's be real. It's not like he really made the decision in that. Like, that was a decision that was made. kind of for him. But I think they had a good vibe during that cocktail party. And then,
I mean, just to go back to week 2, because Maria came out in some lingerie in week 2, right? Yeah. So
yeah. In week 2 during their group date, she did like a little like, let me slip into something more comfortable. This dress I can't breathe in, because it was like a little corset white dress. And then she like slips into this like sexy little 2-piece all black lace, like a form-fitting skirt with like a little like bra, like literally bra top with sleeves. Like, and he was all like, wow.
Yeah, it was like this.
It was like,
it was a boing noise. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, that's probably what set Maria to kind of be a target in some of the girls' eyes, just from last episode.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I like how well spoken she is, and like, you know, she's like not scared to just, you know, say things, and not in a way like it's like annoying or anything like that.
She's
like,
not malicious.
Yeah. You know, but anyways, so what else happens at that cocktail party?
So then Medina is talking to Joey about something that, I'll be honest, I didn't see from, if it was in episode 2, I didn't see it because I only watched
the big
majority
drama
of
in episode 2 with Medina is the fact that she's 31 and she's the oldest girl in the house, and she's just like, it's bumming her out that she's like the oldest girl in the house. She's just trying to make something like to be like poor me, and it's like the dumbest drama ever. And Maria,
Joey's like 28 or 29, so like why does that even matter?
That's what Maria's saying. That's another
drop in the bucket.
That's another thing that Maria said, was that like she's like, I'm 29, we're like the same age, like, and then all the other girls are like, yeah, but that's you dismissing her feelings. And it's just like, what are we talking about here? Like, we are whatever age we are. Like, it's annoying to me, like, to be like, oh, we're old. Like, we're not old. Like, yeah, there's gonna be younger people. You were once young. There was once people like that were looking at you.
Yeah, there's like 25 or 23-year-old girls on here. That doesn't mean that they're any better or whatever.
Yeah,
they, you know, potentially might not be as good of a match. Who cares?
She's also older than she's older than Joey, right? Like,
yeah, I think by like a year or 2.
Yeah, so it's not that old, and he might think it's awesome. Who knows? But probably not. Like, guys like the young girls apparently. So, but anyways, so that's kind of what she's talking about, and she like brought it up to Joey and was like, this is a dynamite word in as of like recent Bachelor seasons, is the word bullying. Right. Because, you know, the word bullying over, not just in Bachelor seasons, but in general, bullying, the term and the actions of bullying are frowned upon and looked down upon a lot these days. And rightfully so, but like, you know, throwing the word out is just when it's not even the case. Like, you know, Maria wasn't bullying anybody. So
she wasn't bullying anyone. And Medina says, she's like, I felt bullied in that moment, which I don't even know how she really felt bullied. I don't think that's like even the right wording for how she was feeling. And then I feel like Medina and Maria did sort of talk it out and they were fine. And I think Medina doesn't even really understand what she meant by bullied. I don't think she was really, she's like, I was just feeling bullied. I wasn't saying you were a bully.
No, it's when people they don't have anything to say and they just throw out these like buzzwords to get people like,
yes,
she was trying to make Maria look bad. And it's like not going to really work, because I think Maria got like the first rose in this episode, you know, and the rose ceremony, but that's leaping ahead a little bit. Anyways, you know, so Medina comes back, and it's like Medina and Sydney are kind of like before Maria and Medina make up later on in the episode. Medina and Sydney are like, Sydney's asserting herself in this drama for no reason. So it's another
reason, just because she has a bug up her butt about Maria. She just hates Maria.
Yeah, because like Maria's the shit, and Sydney has nothing to stand on. She just lost today, and she's trying to make drama surrounding her, just for attention, I feel like. So I think you know, Sydney is just not a good person on the show. She's just becoming the villain. And so what happens next, though? Yeah,
so as we said, Medina tells Joey the whole bit. Joey doesn't like that. He's all like, I don't want people to be, that's like the last thing I want. I don't want people to be bullying each other. I don't want whatever. he comes in, like, when it's time to do group date rose, he gives the rose to Kelsey, I believe, and then is like, I want people to, like, be honest with me about what's going on. Like, I don't want people to be here doing things or whatever. And then kind of just leaves. And then the girls are all like very taken aback because everyone's like, what the hell does he mean by any of this stuff about bullying or whatever? And then Medina's like, well, I told him about how I felt bullied by the whole comments, like around when, like, you, Maria, said that, we're dismissing my age, which when even like watching this without having that full context from the second episode, I was like, I'm so confused on why she was upset. And then you explaining it, the context, I'm like still confused on why she was even upset, like, or why people were making a big deal
it's
around
stupid.
the whole, like,
it's literally
dismissing
just
your feelings.
There was nothing else for them to have drama about. Like it's just like fabricated drama. And it's just like it's just stupid. They're being stupid about it. Like no offense to anybody, but it is a stupid thing to land on. Like be proud of whoever you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. And 31,
it doesn't matter.
You're acting like you're like 45 or something like that. That's ridiculous.
Right.
If you were old, you wouldn't be on this show, girl. So relax.
For real.
You'd be on a different Bachelor show. Anyways, so yeah, most of the girls are kind of like, I think Sydney tries to do some like walkout thing where she's like, I can't stand the negativity anymore. So, and then she leaves and comes back in, and then she's like, if anybody wants to leave with me and can't stand, and everyone just kind of sits there, right?
Nobody moves. Like Sydney, I feel like thinks she understands, like she talks like in this therapy speak, I feel like, and I think she thinks she knows how to handle situation. It's so funny because like even throughout this episode with this whole tension going on, most of the other girls are like, this is so stupid. Like their little like interviews are like, this is so stupid. I don't think anybody was being a bully. I don't know, whatever. And like even some of the girls that are like, I'm Sydney's friend, but I don't think she handles like situations well. Like everyone's just kind of like, what the hell? So it's like so weird to see how like they're definitely like, in this situation of the show. Even like watching a bit of last week's episode before this, and seeing how they were definitely trying to like paint Maria as a villain, and then like watching this week's episode, and I'm all like, she's not the villain. Like Sydney is most definitely the villain here. Like she just like is starting shit to start shit because it's easy for her. Like I think she's just as jealous because like she doesn't actually have like a real connection with Joey, and Maria is actually forming like a real connection with Joey. So
yeah, I mean Sydney's just making things cringy, and the girls know it. They're like, this is not gonna look good on television, like the way you're acting and stuff like that. Like most people don't even want any part of it. They're not gonna walk out with you. They're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna stay put. So anyways, let's get to our one-on-one.
Yeah. So our one-on-one was with Jen,
who is one of my favorites right now. Like I can't help it.
She's
but
cutie.
She's awesome.
She's cute. I think she has like a cute little dry sense of humor. Like she's pretty chill. I like her vibes. They kind of wear like cute little semi-matching outfits. Like they're both in like black, a blue and white like floral prints, which I thought was funny. And they go surfing, which Joey's actually pretty good at because, I mean, he did live in Hawaii for a while. So I feel like you kind of have to learn how to surf if you live in Hawaii. Like, what else are you doing besides teaching people tennis? But so they do surfing, which looks like it was fun. And during this date, the thing I noticed was that, like, Joey is, like, just so, like, low-key, doesn't really show a lot of emotion when he talks. So it's funny when you could tell, like, they do his little interviews that they're really trying to like get something out of him. But the way he talks is just like, it's kind of funny to me. Like, it's like, he's all like, yeah, my kiss with Jen, it was just great. And I can't stop thinking all I want to do. Like, I don't know what else to say besides like, when you ask about kissing Jen, I want to just kiss Jen more. I'm like, you're just such a bro. It's kind of funny. It's cute. It's kind of endearing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, to be honest, like, I feel like I'm watching The Bachelor and Joey's not even there. Like, I feel like he's not even, like, in the show. Like there's something weird going on where like I'm just like voiding him out. I don't know if it's me or like it's actually what's happening. I don't know. But anyways,
he's just like so one note. It's kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. He's just like so chill and like doesn't like. I'm interested to see how his emotions waver more throughout this season, because right now we're just so early on that he is just like, ha, like this is amazing. A bunch of girls want to kiss me. Like he's just like amazing. Like I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a great leader or not, but I think he's a great person to like go out on dates with. Like he'd be like I don't know if he's a great bachelor, but he'd be like a great match on like, you know, Hinge or something like that. You'd be like, oh yeah,
he's a great first date. I would say for sure.
Yeah.
Like all these dates, seeing them go on these first dates, I'm like, wow, you seem like you'd be a great engaging first date. Like I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like real life Joey's cool. For television, I could use a little bit more salt and pepper. But you know, I think they had a great time. You know, Jen opens up about her like, you know, relationship with her parents and how you know, that, you know, how that is, you know, affected her. And they get like a sick little drone light up show saying, will you accept this rose? And she gets a rose from her date. So
I liked that. I thought that was kind of fun and different, you know?
Definitely. They got a little budget they had Michael Bolton.
They definitely have some budget.
They had
because
Michael
even
Bolton
they
last
had Michael
episode.
Bolton. Yeah.
That's money. You know what I'm saying? That's that guy's an OG. So, but yeah, I think they're going to go for a while. Jen is going to be a front runner, I believe. So,
I believe so too.
And also she was making some like outside news with like, you know, them confusing her for the other Asian girl on the show.
Leah?
Yeah, I was seeing like, you know, they like the actual Bachelor account like posted a picture of what's the girl that had on the after the rose? Leah. They had put a picture of her or the other one. I forgot what it was, but like they just, and it was the wrong person. And then she made like a comment about how like Asian people, everyone thinks they all look the same or something like that. But I feel like maybe it's more with Asian people, but like white people all look the same. Like Indian people, like everyone all looks the same. We're all like,
we all look the same.
We're all humans. But anyways, we got a group date next, and it's the first ever tennis match. What did they call it? The Bachelor.
The Bachelor Open.
The Bachelor Open. These are ridiculous because it seems like always the same thing where they just set 3 judges up right there for whatever, and they're
do some comments. I mean, that's Jesse's other job. Is he literally does sports commentary? Like he's on ESPN.
Yeah,
like,
Jesse does this. He's a natural. You know, so they had him dressing up in costumes and acting ridiculous in tennis. I actually don't know who wins, but Lobster and Butter win, right?
Lobster and Butter, which I forget who girls those were because I just was paying attention to them as Lobster and Butter because whoever had the butter hat on was just like wiggling it around. I don't know if it was Evelyn or whoever, but it was one of the girls, and it was just like so funny to me.
What do we have here with Caitlyn?
So like they get to the cocktail party. Caitlyn's talking about how her family the women in her family are cursed with singledom. She's all like, you know, my aunts and my mom and like whatever are all looking to me to break the curse. And like Joey's like, holy shit. And she's like, no, like not really, but like my mom is divorced and like just gave up on that. My like aunt this or that, my sister this or that. Like she's like, I've only been in a couple of like long-term relationships. She's like, I'm not trying to settle. So like, you know, we'll see if you could break the curse. And he's like, okay.
But then she gets the rose, right?
Yeah, she does. I think he liked like learning more about her, but it just felt like I felt like he like kind of looked like a deer in headlights for part of that conversation. But I think like once they got out of like the whole curse talk, like, and they actually were just talking more about her and like her relationships and like how she, you know, just really values like, you know, her independence and like also all of that. I think he was like, oh, cool. Love that.
Right. Rachel gets her earring stuck in his sweater and the producers had to come in and try to separate. That
They had a
happens to me
producer.
a lot. Like I used to not take out my earrings when I went to bed, and it just like my earrings would get caught in a blanket or just like be piercing the back of my head. So like now I have this little dish. I take out my earrings before I go to bed and stuff. And
Wow, I'm proud of you, Si.
yeah, but I still get caught with my necklace that I wear all the time. So it's just very frustrating. Sometimes I'll just be like, ugh, and I have to like do this thing where I have to like rip this thing off of like, personal problems. I need to get out more. Anyways, so, Daisy, brings up her implant that she got.
Cochlear implant.
She asked Joey if he wants to touch it. And he does. So,
He does.
Yep. And so,
Whoa.
yikes. So Caitlin gets the group date rose, and then we're back at the house. What's going on there?
This is still so the continuing thing is Sydney really is out here on the hate campaign against Maria. And she's really thinking she's the better person in this. She's all she's just afraid of me because I'm the only one that stands up to her. She's a mean girl. We're going to get that mean girl out of here. She's just really thinks she is doing everybody a service. And she's I just think I have to do what I have to do, and I just think I'm gonna talk to Joey. I have to tell him the truth, which she doesn't, because then instead of doing a regular cocktail party, they have a pool party, which is what they always do at this early part of the season. They're all instead we're gonna do a thing, and this time, no wonder why they're getting all this great stuff. This whole pool party is sponsored by KFC. So it's just their product placement. They bring out all the Jesse's all and this time it's really special because we have food specially from KFC for you girls. Get out there. And then they show all the girls with their plates of KFC being I love KFC. This is great. And now we get to party with Joey. And they got KFC swag. There's the Colonel as floats in the pool. There's they have little bucket hats that are KFC. The bucket hats were actually kind of cute. But they're all talking about I love KFC, blah, blah, blah. And I'm wow, they be trifling with this product placement. I feel this is an early 2000s music video.
Right.
You know when they would always have the Beats pill in music videos and you'd be oh my God.
Yeah, now they just got a breast and thighs with breast and thighs. Breast and thighs. Oh my God. So Sydney goes and tells Joey, when you hear the word bullying, you got to go back to the group of girls and be I don't like what I'm hearing here and stuff. And the girls are pissed. Now it's rule number 1, don't talk about other girls. Don't ruin the girls' time, the group's time,
right,
by bringing up drama that's actually just stupid.
It's stupid. And it's, first of all, Sydney literally just tells lies when she's confronting and telling Joey about the truths about what's going on. She's and then Maria was saying this and she attacked Medina and I had to protect her. And then she started attacking me. And I'm all literally none of that happened. You inserted yourself and Maria was asking you questions. There was nothing, no attacking was happening. The only attacking that was happening was Sydney being you're a mean girl, you're this. I don't understand. And so
what do you think it is about pool parties that makes them end poorly in recent seasons?
I think it's because I mean,
is it because first of all they're in bikinis and everyone's flaunting themselves and all over Joey and it's tensions are high, your insecurities are coming out and someone always breaks?
I think maybe that plays into it. I think what also plays into it is because it's not a traditional cocktail party where maybe you've had more time to kind of think about your plan for going into, your night and how you want to spend your time. Because I feel during the cocktail party, sometimes, they do fun little date, sort of semi-date things or whatever. I feel the pool party, because it's more casual, I think sometimes girls will just go out with whatever. They'll be all this is whatever drama is bothering me right now, and they're just gonna tell it to Joey. And I just feel like, or tell it to the lead. I feel like it's always like somebody's name is in somebody's mouth at a pool party. Like that is always like what the deal is.
But like I feel like if you really watched each season, you could easily see that the girls that have the best energy and that are positive and all that stuff, like, are going to go farther than the girls that are going to talk about drama or what's bothering them,
right,
about other women in the house. Like, that's just not what we want to deal with. Like, we want to be with like the girl that's going to have fun and like, you know, I want to get to know you and not be talking about other people and stuff. Like, it's just a stupid move. So it's just another.
It's so dumb, and it is, and it's tired. And it's like, yeah, you would think you would know by now not to do something like that. And that's sometimes what I wonder. I'm like, who is maybe potentially thinking of, like, who's putting that, like, is a producer promoting that? Who's helping do some of that? But I don't know. Yeah. But Joey talks to Maria, pulls Maria aside to talk to her. And, like, Maria gets emotional, like, rightfully so, because she's like, I feel like I'm just, like, being misunderstood. She's like, I feel like I'm not being received well by people. Like, I'm obviously here for you. Like, I'm not trying to do anything to, like, upset people. And, like, I wasn't trying to do anything. And she's like, what you're telling me isn't aligning with what happened. And, like, I just, you know,
that's
I don't
the
know.
way to
and,
do it. That's the way to do it. Because I was thinking about like what I would say and stuff, and it would be like,
right.
It would be like, look, Joey. I mean, I could sit here and try to defend myself about all this stuff, but like, to be honest, like, there's like we're all like cramped into a house, and everyone's tensions are high, and I think there's like huge miscommunication, and I'm telling you right now, I am not here to do this. I am here for you, and you know, you're just gonna have to take me on my word that like there's a huge misunderstanding happening here and different types of personalities and stuff. But I'm telling you the truth that I am nothing but here for you and just to be kind to people around me. And that would be like, you know, it's essentially what she says. So you know, good on her.
And of course, like, and she even like feels for Joey because she's like, I know, like, because he's like, now I'm more confused because, like, you know, whatever. And she's like, I get it. Like, I'm not, like, I understand that this is, you can only hear what you're hearing from both of us. And, like, I don't know. She's like, but just know that, like, I'm not here to spew any misinformation or anything like that. And then she says a line that I think was interesting. I think it worked well because Joey took it well, but I think it could easily go poorly because she's all like, if you like Sydney, you can't like me because we're so different that, like, there's no liking both of us because we don't align. And Joey took it. He's like, she made a good point, which to me just shows, like, and he was like, I feel like Maria was being more real with me, and like than Sydney was when Sydney was talking to me, which I feel like Joey's perceptive enough to understand that, like, yeah, Sydney was like coming to him with an agenda. Maria was trying to just defend herself as best she could, as well as like be like, I'm not gonna get mixed into this more than I already am against my will. And I thought that, like, spoke well to Joey's character as a lead to, like, kind of be able to semi-piece his way through the bullshit. He's all like, I'm confused.
Yeah, like, because people like Zach or like Clayton, they didn't handle those type of situations well, you know? Yeah, I do applaud Joey for that. So this takes us to the rose ceremony. Where are we at?
The rose ceremony, people are, of course, are upset and worried that they're going to not get a rose because they didn't get time at the pool party because of all the bullshit that has been going on, which I agree. I would be pissed too. And like Sydney's even like after the pool party, like, or whatever, Sydney's like sitting there being all like, well, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy I did what I did. And I'm sort of sorry, like, that people didn't get time. And like Maria's like, I'm so done with this, girl. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, this is ridiculous. But at the end of the night, Maria and Sydney, actually, they get roses back to back. Maria gets the second to last rose, and then Sydney gets the last rose. And so a 2-on-1 is coming. I called it from then seeing that, and then they showed in the preview that they're getting a 2-on-1. So
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, there's been a lot of times in past seasons where it seemed like a 2-on-1 was appropriate, and then they just don't do a 2-on-1 at all. Like,
Right.
is it maybe something where like they just don't have enough time because now they're just like spitting out these shows in 10 episodes, and it's like, I don't know. They're just like, no, we don't have time to do a 2-on-1. Like,
Maybe.
we don't want to waste a date episode on a 2-on-1 type thing or something like that. But regardless, that's coming. We already know Sydney's gonna probably go home on that because she sucks. I
hope, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I wish she went home tonight.
I mean,
whatever.
To me, what this is telling me is that Joey already likes Daisy. That's what he's like. He already sold on Daisy. He's testing out some other girls or whatever like that. But that just means that these are just these are just girls that are meant to make drama on the show for at least another week. That Joey can handle it. But girls go home that have no idea who, I'm saying, like, there's just so many girls. And I'm also hearing rumors that they're going to bring more girls in.
I was wondering if they were going to do it like how they did with Matt James' season, because they literally started with the same amount as Matt James' season. So I was wondering if they were going to do something similar where they bring them in, because they're already down to 15 girls or something. Yeah, 15. And I wonder if, that's a big jump in a couple of weeks from 32 to 15. So I wonder if they will bring in a couple more it gets so tricky because I was trying to check who all went home this week, and I was like, okay, Krissa, Evelyn, and then some other girl I quite literally don't know her name. Couldn't tell you. Don't know her. And I'm usually good with the names, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing screen time from a lot of these girls that are going home. Usually we get to see some of them, at least by now. But it's the third week, and we don't know any of these girls that are still going home. Kind of crazy. But anyways, so we get an end credit scene.
It was hilarious because it was Jesse in the pool on the Colonel float, going over testing, final rose sayings. And I laughed out loud because he says, he's why do I even say this is the final rose? There's only one rose left. It seems redundant to say it. And I was all I was dying. I was laughing out loud. I was Jesse's so in on the joke. It's just kind of funny. Jesse's just this is so stupid. He's just he's just collecting his bag.
Chris Harrison would never.
Never.
Yeah.
Chris Harrison would never do that.
Yeah. I mean, it has that Bachelor in Paradise feel all year long. So I like that.
I love it. Jesse was playing tennis with Joey in the second episode just to start the episode to be as them talking about how the season's going and what he's thinking about going into his dates, and he's man, if you were my coach when I was younger, maybe I would actually be good at this. It was just so funny.
Yeah,
he's just a funny he's just literally there. Jesse's just there for the vibes. He's just hey.
And the paycheck.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're getting a 2-on-1 next week, most likely, Sydney and Maria. And that's what we got. We got 2 weeks packed into one episode. I like this frequency. I feel fresh to be able to talk about this stuff. So this might be kind of what we do moving forward.
Well, yeah, next week is a two episode week. They're doing a Monday and Tuesday night.
Oh, we might have to do one next week then. Very possible. Yeah. Veronica, is there anything else Bachelor Nation related that we got to talk about?
Yeah, Nick Viall and his child bride, Natalie, had their baby, River Rose Viall. So
River Rose?
Yeah, her name is River Rose.
The Rose for Bachelor?
No, he said in the post that it was she's named after, I guess,
Titanic,
Natalie's niece, somebody's niece, and Natalie's grandmother.
Okay.
The Rose, I'm guessing, is the grandmother, and then the river must be the niece, which feels weird if you have like a niece who's already whatever. But
I don't know. I like fun names like the next person, but I don't know about River. I don't know. Not really.
I feel like River's been having it. I feel like I've heard of a couple people naming their kids River, like in the semi-celebrity sphere, and I feel like it's got to come up right now. The name River is real big, especially in like the semi-crunchy influencer space.
Whatever. So yeah, guys, that was our recap of week 2 and week 3. We'll probably be back next week. If not, I'm trying to think if I have rehearsals or not, but if I'm not, then we'll be back the following week probably. I don't know what we got going on here. We might just you might pop up at the last episode and we're just like, hey, there's a whole season recap from future Bachelor. But that's what we're doing, man. We're kind of like in a retirement phase of the pod. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels good. We're just,
retirement phase.
Yeah, we're going at our own pace. We don't rely on a paycheck here and stuff. So
I'm going to call it Montessori because that's like the schooling system where like it's kind of like, ooh, go at your own pace, learning in a different way. We're on our Montessori phase.
Yeah, totally.
We're not about structure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, we feel like podding, we're going to pod. So that's what you get. Veronica, do you have any shout outs this week? I mean, I don't even know if we should do shout outs anymore.
I shouted out Sean last week but I'll shout him out again because we just ran that trip.
We'll just make this shout out section for, we're either going to shout out our significant other.
Our partners.
Or our family. So since you did that, I'll shout out my family and my significant other. You want to shout out your family too?
Yeah, shout out to my family.
Shout out to. All right, guys.
Oh man, we're killing
because that's all that matters when you're in retirement. It's just your significant other and your family.
We're not in retirement.
Yeah. So it feels good. It feels good. Just living off that 401k.
Yeah, because we're so old. We're older than Medina.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Giving you a little something here. If you're out there listening. So, we love you guys. This has been your favorite podcast, Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And we'll see you next time. Deuces.
Bye.